Hey, what's going on? Aaron here. Hope you're doing well. If you're watching this video right now, you might be checking out this website here called ClearVoice, and maybe you're wondering, can you really make money from freelance writing? How much can you make? Is this website legit? Okay, let's check it out. At any time, if you want to get my favorite way to get to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, 100% from home, just go ahead and click the link below and I'll share my favorite strategy with you. Now, on this channel, I've reviewed literally thousands of ways to make money on the internet. All right, lots and lots of ways. Some of them are really good, some of them so-so. A lot of them are a big waste of time though. So let's check out ClearVoice to find out whether this is a good website and a good way for you to earn additional income through the internet. All right. Now, ClearVoice is a Fiverr company. Fiverr is a very large freelance platform, so it's 100% legit. I've bought many freelance services on Fiverr, and this is their service specifically for content writing. Okay, so if you come to clearvoice.com, this is actually geared towards clients. So if you look on this page, basically you can come here as a client, and if you need some freelance writing, you can actually pay them. So you can do a subscription. So see, you can have a subscription, a steady stream of published ready content to fill your marketing channels, from SEO to sales collateral. ClearVoice manages the content production so that you don't have to. So I can pay them to actually deliver content for my blog, for my websites, things like that, right? You can do on demand and you can do flexible options as well. So this part of their website is designed for clients. But if you are a freelance writer, or you have the skills to become a freelance writer and you want to make a little bit of money, writing articles for clients through ClearVoice, then you can scroll all the way down, all right, and head over to under company, you come to freelance for us. Okay, so you click on freelance for us, and this is where you can actually apply for a freelance writing job. All right, now here's the thing about freelance writing. You don't necessarily need to already have experience, but it's better if you have written for something, or at least you need to have samples of your writing. Otherwise they can't tell how good your writing is. Okay, so you don't need any specific qualifications, but you do need to be able to give them some examples of your previous writing so that they can see how good you really are. All right, now if you scroll down, it's very clear. Okay, so the great thing about working with ClearVoice is that you can secure better jobs because they have a talent network, right? This is really the benefit of working with ClearVoice. All right, you can build your brand, your portfolio. You set your own rates. Okay, so you decide and you set the rates for your actual work, right? But again, here's the thing: if you set the rates too high and your work isn't that good, you're not going to get that many jobs. So it is a bit of a balancing act. You need to set the right rates so that you can actually get jobs if you're good enough. Okay, and then they pay through PayPal. All right, so once things are approved and assigned and you complete it, then you get paid directly through PayPal. All right, now the important thing is you need to create a CV profile. All right, a CV is a curriculum vitae. That's basically a resume, and you would do it on their platform. All right, so it's very important to understand that this is a very big part of the process, right? So you need to take the time. It might take you an hour, okay, to fill out your CV. You're gonna have put as much details as you can about yourself. They're gonna ask you for a tagline, a summary of your experience, and then they want at least 6 examples of your work. All right, so you need to upload at least 6 examples of your writing work, because they need to grade you and find out how good you are at writing. Are you really good? Are you not so good? Are you kind of somewhere in the middle, right? So you do need to take your time, right, to fill out the CV profile, because the better you fill out the profile, the more jobs you can potentially get on. All right, so if you don't do a good job of your CV profile, you're not going to pick up any jobs at all. All right, so just so that you understand. Now, let me go down to the questions. So these are the different areas that they can hire from, right? So it's not just content writing in general. They can do finance, content writing, education, travel and adventure, software writing, lifestyle, consumer, legal, real estate, healthcare. You get the idea. Okay, lots of different types of roles. You can be a ghostwriter, you can be a graphic designer. They have some other roles here: video editor, graphic designer, but a general writer, an SEO specialist if you have SEO skills, a copy editor, a technical writer. So technical writer is more technical stuff on very specific niche topics. Okay, content strategist and animator is a different role for them, but these are the different types of content roles. All right, so FAQ, more breakdown. You can read this here, right? How do you apply? I mentioned it earlier. You just click on the CV portfolio and you start filling it out. You must complete at least 70% of the portfolio, of the profile. I would just complete it all if you can. 6 work samples, like I mentioned earlier. What are the roles you want to apply for, what are your categories of expertise. Make sure you take the time to do this. All right, now how do you get assignments, right? Well, it really depends on your CV, okay, and how good it is. Now here's the thing about making money on ClearVoice, right? So how much can you get paid? Well, it depends on a lot of things. Number one, it depends on how good your profile is. If your profile and your content writing experience is pretty substantial and you do a good job of finishing the profile here, at least 70% completion, right? Then you might be able to get some decent jobs. But you must also price yourself at the right level. Otherwise, if you're too expensive, you might not get the right jobs, okay? So if you're wondering how much do content writers actually get paid, freelance content writers? Well, I went to Upwork, okay, to do some research for you, right? And the average content writer on Upwork, which is a very, very popular freelance website. I also hire a lot of my freelancers through Upwork, all right, to build my internet business. They charge between 15 to 40 US dollars per hour. All right, so you can make even more. It just really depends on your experience. Some content writers charge even more than $40 per hour, but this is just kind of a rough benchmark for you to understand what are the potentials of becoming a freelance copywriter, okay? I hire some of my freelance copywriters for a little bit less. $10 per article, that's what I pay them. I don't pay them per hour, I pay them per article for a specific amount of words, 1,000 words, right? But that's, the deal that I made with my particular content writer. But that's just to give you an idea, okay? Sometimes it's not even $15 to $40. It can be a little bit less depending on what what quality and where you're based in the world as well, okay? But just to give you an idea here, right? Now that you know that, so potentially you can make $15 to $40 an hour for your content writing, but now it also depends on whether they have a big enough pool of clients to actually hire you, right? And see, this is the thing with using any type of network, is that it depends on a lot of things, right? It depends on how good you are, what the prices you set are, and what is the actual supply of clients they have in order to hire you for jobs that they need, right? If you get lucky and you're a good writer, you have a great CV, and you don't charge super expensive, it fits the jobs, then you might potentially get quite a lot of jobs, all right? But if you're unlucky and your profile isn't very good, your skills aren't very good, and maybe your price point isn't the right price point, you might find that you're only going to pick up a few jobs here and there, right? You might only get 1 job a week. You might get 2 jobs a week, right? You might get 10 jobs a week. You might get 20 jobs a week. It really depends, all right? So this is really one of those things where every person's situation is going to be slightly different, okay? It's a combination of different things that will come together and decide whether or not you're going to get a lot of jobs for the long term or not. All right, so potentially you could make some really decent money with ClearVoice, or you might not really make that much money at all. It really depends on your skill set, your personal situation, and some of the decisions that you make on how much you're going to charge people for your services, okay? And that's really it, right? Now, just to finish up here, how do you create a strong CV? All right, this is really important, right? And you can read this, upload as many content examples as you can, tell us your roles and topic. I would just fill out your profile, okay? Tag each piece of content with the primary roles you played, the category, the content type, organize the content into sections to display your variety of skill sets, add a bio tagline, connect your social profiles, frequently update your CV, and curate content we find from your publication queue. So your CV is a living, breathing document on ClearVoice, and that's really, really important. So the crux of it is that if you want more jobs, you have to do a really, really good job on filling out your CV, because I think they use AI matching. They use their system in order to match you. It's not a manual person actually going through it, okay? It's their system, it's their technology. So if you do a bad job, then unfortunately they can't really go through your profile properly, because you're not tagging the right things, you're not connecting your social profiles, you're not categorizing where you are, what interests you have or what things that you've done. So make sure you use their CV setup properly. Okay, so here's what I will say about ClearVoice. If you are a writer, if you have some experience or you want to get into it and you've got examples to show, then potentially ClearVoice, which is owned by Fiverr, can potentially get you some pretty good freelance work. Okay, now are you going to get rich with this? Probably not. Can you go full-time though? Well, if you are good and everything, the stars align and everything works out well and you have a great CV and your price point is right and their client base is good, then you might be able to have some long-term work here on ClearVoice, right? As a freelance content writer. So if you want to check it out, clearvoice.com. All right. Now, if you are here watching this video right now, on this channel, I reviewed many ways to make money online. So everything from freelancing to starting your own business to make money websites to push button software, all sorts of weird things, investments, things like that, right? And out of all of them, what I found is that there is one method, I think, for a beginner to go from zero to their first $5,000 to $10,000 by building a business. All right. The thing about freelancing is it's great, right? It's digital, it's virtual, and you can make some money. But the big problem with freelancing is you're still trading time for money. That means that if you're not doing the work, you don't get paid, which kind of sucks because if you're sick or you want to travel or you want to take a break, you're not going to make any money because you're not delivering the projects, right? Building a business, which is what I've done over the last 15 years, is much more powerful. But the only difference is it does take a little bit longer. Obviously, you have to take on some risks to actually build that business, but the income potential is huge, okay? So if that's something that you might be a little bit more interested in, again, I've reviewed so many different methods and strategies on this channel. My favorite way, again, for a beginner to go from zero to their first $5,000 to $10,000 is a very specific method, all right? If you would like to see exactly how that works, I've got a free masterclass that talks all about it. I can send it to you for free if you would like to check that out, all right? I hope you enjoyed this review of ClearVoice. All the best to you. Speak to you soon and see you on another video review. Take care.